guys, it's Cant again. In this stream, we're reviewing to The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 7, Deadweight. Finally, we got what I wanted from the Govenor episodes. This definitely was a better episode. I think it's probably the second best episode of the season. I mean, Interment is still the best one, but this is right up there with it, because this episode tonight, I loved it. I really loved it. I was ready to give up on watching it. Then that ending came, and I loved it. The first few minutes of it are just whatever, but I really enjoyed this episode tonight. I thought it was a much better episode than last week's. It wasn't necessarily that last week was bad. There was a lot more going on. Just compared to this one, there wasn't as much going on, and there was a lot more chaos going on in this one, and I definitely really enjoyed it. So let's just get to the episode. So as we know, last week's episode ended with the Govenor saved Meghan out of that pit, and Martinez had just come to find him. Now we come back and we basically find out that the Govenor is working with Martinez in this big group. It's really a big group. They have a lot there. They have the proper ammo they need. They have food. They have drinks. They're pretty much good. But Martinez is kind of taking over it, and we can pretty much see that he's the leader of it. And you know, this is what I was starting to wonder, is the Govenor kind of going to try to take over this group? It didn't seem like for a while he was going to really do that. For a while it just seemed like he was trying to help mount everything. Eventually, though, Martinez takes him to, Martinez and him go out for a golfing lesson, basically. And, not really golfing, but they go out golfing. And, Martinez tells the Govenor that Shumpert died. And that was, apparently was the other guy that was working with him. I don't know much about that, but supposedly Shumpert died. So, he says, don't go looking for him, Shumpert's dead. And so, this is when the Govenor thinks, one down. So, before we know it, the Govenor takes a golf club and just, like, starts violently hit and knocks out Martinez to his death. He hit him that hard, and, before anything else could happen, he feeds Martinez to the walkers. And, he feeds him to he throws him in a pit and he feeds him to the walkers. Now, this is where I'm like, yes, the badass Govenor is back, the one I wanted last week. This is what we're getting. And I was very happy about this. And, I thought it was really cool the way that was all done. Because really, by killing Martinez, it really shows that the Govenor never really changed. He never really did. And, that's really what was going on there, was the death of Martinez really affected a lot of things for the Govenor. Because once Martinez came back, it's what everybody thought was going to happen, that the Govenor was going to go back to what he originally wanted in the world, which basically was to just, you know, show up at the prison. Which, by the way, we do find out how he shows up in the prison in this episode. So after this, basically, we see that, so he's killed Martinez. And he talks to Lilly Tara and Meghan, who have pretty much become a part of this group, which was pretty cool to see. I definitely liked enjoying seeing them as a part of the group, because that was definitely really cool. And you know, pretty much the biggest thing here is what we find out is that what did we find out? I'm forgetting something. Okay, so he goes on this supply run, and he encounters another group, and this guy, Pete, he's hesitant to rob the group, and they go back. So the Govenor ends up killing Pete, and he makes this alliance with Mitch, and he puts the term Pete into the water, and he's basically making it his new aquarium, which is really cool to see, and I really like the way that worked, because I'm like, yes, he's making his new aquarium. I don't know much about, again, I don't know much about the Govenor, but after this episode, I definitely enjoyed his character more, and I like the way that this is definitely going. So then after this, he's basically talking to Lilly, and he basically says, you know what, this might not be safe for us. Maybe we should find a safer place to live. Now I'm thinking, is he talking about the prison here? Or what's going on here? So I'm thinking he's talking about the prison. And, we don't really get an answer from Lilly, because you kind of think, maybe he's gonna have to talk to her next week about it, but, something else happens after this. Something really big actually happens after this. We see that there's, Tara and Meghan are kind of playing this game, And also, they've kind of become a big family, Lilly, Tara, Meghan, and the Governor. And Tara and Meghan are playing like this game of, I don't know what game they were playing, like a game of tag. And before you know it, Meghan is attacked by a walker, almost killed by it. The Governor ends up saving her, and he then realizes, he's waiting for Lilly to give an answer, but Lilly does not talk to him. He does not end up talking to him. I thought that was very interesting that Lilly just did not talk to him at all. No, what actually ends up happening is that he goes in his RV, he leaves to go to, he goes to where Rick and Carl are. Yes, we're like, yes, he's in the prison now. This is where it's going to happen. Something big's about to happen. And boy, did it ever. He goes there. He sees Rick and Carl and everything. And he pretty much ends up, he looks at them, because he's kind of like jealous of them, he then distances himself from Michonne and Herschel. He sees them right there. And quietly, he aims the gun right at Michonne's head, and the episode's over. Perfect ending right there. Finally, we're back in the prison. Finally, we're going to see how the Governor affects everyone. And we're finally going to get to see the badass Governor that I wanted to see last week. What we got this week was definitely what I wanted last week. And I definitely think this was a much better episode than last week. I think this was probably one of my favorite episodes of this season by far. I think that they actually did a really great job with it. My only complaint was that the writing in the beginning was a little slow. It wasn't as slow as last week, but it was a little slow in the beginning. The very first scene was very strange. It was like a dream or something. That was really weird. Besides that, though, I really enjoyed this episode. A couple things I want to talk about, though, is, are we going to see Lilly, Tara, and Meghan? Are they going to still trust him? I'm thinking that maybe they are, that basically he's their only hope of surviving right now. So they kind of need to stick with the Governor. I know people are saying, oh, they can get by on their own and everything. I don't think they can. I think by showing Meghan getting attacked by that walker, it showed that Lilly, Tara, and Meghan are not as safe as they think they are. They're not very safe at all, that is. And I think if they don't stick with the Governor, then they're basically going to die. Each one of them is just, they're going to die off. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that Lilly, Tara, and Meghan are not safe if they're not with the Governor. And are they going to find out his true identity? His name is not Brian. His name is actually, the Governor. I don't know his actual name, but his name's the Governor. Do you think they'll actually find that out? I don't know, but we're going to have to see. What I also like seeing was that we've kind of seen how Lilly, Tara, and Meghan are basically the only family he has. And apparently in the comics, he's going to end up killing everybody. At least that's what happened in the comics. He basically just killed everybody. So here's something is going to happen next week. I think the Governor's going to not kill Michonne. I think she's going to, something big's going to happen there. Someone major is going to die next week. Someone huge. And I kind of have this feeling it could end up being Michonne. Because, he's about to kill her. So it could be her. Because, that's the Governor's main target right now. He just wants to kill Michonne. If Michonne's dead, then I don't think the Governor's going to kill anybody else unless they do something really, really bad. But think about it, she was the one who killed Penny, so of course he's going to go after her and none of the others. So it's pretty logical what's going to happen there. And the only other thing that I do want to say is what's going to happen with the future of the rest of them. You think this Flu Rider storyline is, the Flu Rider storyline is pretty much kaput. But as far as the other characters go, who else could die in this? I don't think, Rick will not die. There's no telling Rick will not die. Don't worry, Daryl will not die either. Which, by the way, yes, we will get to see them again. It looks like there's this huge gunfight that's going to ensue. Many minor characters are going to die. I really hope that, everybody, Lilly and Tara die, but Meghan stays with the Governor, because I think that Meghan is really more of a daughter to the Governor. She feels more like that's his daughter, and I think that's what's really going on here. But again, I really enjoyed tonight's episode. That was not tonight's, last night's episode. I really thought it was a great episode. I thought there was some really great scenes in this episode. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. Did you like this episode more than the last one? I'm sure a lot of us liked it more than the last one. I thought there were some really incredible things in this one. What is going to happen to the Governor? Who do you think he's going to kill? Do you think he's going to kill everybody in sight. What do you think's going to happen there? I'm definitely very interested in seeing what he's going to do next. Lilly Tara and Meghan, will they stay with the governor? Or do you think that's the last we'll see of them? I don't think it's the last we'll see of them. I do think they're going to come and visit the governor and try to stop him. And also, who is going to die? Somebody major is going to die. Martinez wasn't a major character, so I wouldn't count that as a major death. So what do you think is going to happen there? And what else do you guys expect for the mid-season finale next week? Again, I also expect Daryl to talk to Rick about the whole thing with Carol, and maybe Carol comes back. And maybe Carol could be the one who dies. You never know. But that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys in the next video, which will be for Witches of Eastham, which I still have yet to watch because I was watching the AMAs. So I will see you guys later for my review of that. Bye.